welcome back to the GorillaBiker. And today we are on the way to Hook Head Lighthouse, which is somewhere I've been meaning to come for a long time. And we're with Luke on his Africa Twin, and also Alex on his new Kawasaki. This is the Z400? I think it's just the Z400. I don't think there's any other extra letters. And I am on the Magna, because this bike is just so much fun. So the cool thing about Hook Head Lighthouse is it's about, I think it's over 800 years old. I'll put the numbers up on the screen now, but basically I have a number in my head, 1162. I'll correct myself on screen because I don't think that's right. I don't think it is 1162 when it was built. But it is the second oldest functioning lighthouse in the world, after Heracles in Spain. And it has been automated since 1996. So up until 1996 it was a manned lighthouse. Now the reason it was originally brought in was it was by a Templar, I think his name was William, to protect shipping routes, and obviously protect the ships from crashing into rocks. So and hence protecting the shipping routes. Because, and it's funny because when you read about Hook Head, it says that shipping routes used to be so important, but I mean they're still really important. one mega ship got blocked in the Suez Canal and everyone lost their minds and everything got delayed. So shipping routes are still just as important, right? That's, in my opinion, that is the truth. So it's always interesting when you read about that. And yeah, anyway, so it's probably very windy. It's pretty much always windy out here, so I apologize if you can hear it. I am going to try fly the drone at the hook, but it might be too windy for the drone. Even on good days, it's often too windy down here to do anything like that. So we'll keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully we can fly the drone. But either way, it's going to be a cool spot to visit. So some parts of the actual Hook Head Lighthouse itself are 4 meters thick. The walls are 4 meters thick, because this thing is a colossus. Old building wise, it's an absolute beast of a thing. And where it's located is a very beautiful, naturally beautiful area on these kind of like mini cliffs. They're not big cliffs, but they're very cool, and you can sometimes see whales, like humpback whales and stuff, from the hook down here as well. Now I don't think we're going to be that lucky today, because I don't have that kind of luck, but you never know, we might see some. Maybe they'll hear the call of the Magna and turn up. But other than that, this is a spot that if you're in Ireland riding bikes, it's one of those places I'd highly advise coming down and seeing, because, like, I don't know, can you see what I'm seeing? But the views down here are just fantastic. It's a very scenic area. It's very beautiful and well worth a visit. Now hopefully we're not stuck in traffic the whole rest of the way. We probably will be. The one thing I will say, if you're watching this and you can't tell from the bike vibrating around like crazy, it's quite the roads down here are quite rough, so be aware of that. It's not a spot you want to come on a sports bike with your suspension set up for the track, because it will vibrate your bones out through your skin and you'll be confused as to how that had happened. But anyway, there you go. But yeah, the lighthouse, I don't know a huge amount about it, other than, it was obviously run by Templars. Then monks ran it, I believe, up until the 1640s. Some monks looked after it. Then obviously it stayed running all the time, and it was a manned lighthouse up until it was automated in 1996. And even the fact that a lot of these lighthouses now, it was electrified in, I think, the 70s, and then it was automated in 1996. So lighthouse, I love lighthouses, right? Because number one, they're cool. They always look cool, because they're always at somewhere that looks like the edge of the world, because I mean that's the point of them. It's to stop ships crashing into the edge of a big chunk of land, And I also think it's cool that we haven't really advanced much from when they used to, you know, you can have the most fancy GPS systems in the world, you can have the most advanced everything on a ship, and still they rely on someone shining a really big light to say don't crash into here. You know what I mean? And obviously it's for location, so if you're just charting off maps or whatever and you see the lighthouse, it's so whoever's sailing that can kind of know, okay, well, there's the hook, or in this case the hook, and we know where we are from that to get their bearings from, and, you know, again, not crash into the land. But look at that, beautiful, beautiful scenery. Thank you kindly. Nice looking restaurant. There's an old church, very cool also. You see, the thing about these areas is as well, right, why it's kind of worth visiting if you're coming to Ireland as a tourist, be it on a bike or by car or by however, if you're walking these roads, it's well worth coming down to these old areas, because the thing that's cool about them is, right, so for instance, Hook Head Lighthouse, a community was built up around that back in the day, obviously, because it was an area that people had to live to work it, and like I said, it was very important to trade all the way back then, which means that other stuff kind of grew up around it, like that old church, you know, like there's other old stuff around here as well, and it's just I don't know, because of that, it's just cool. And this will tell you, by the way, how windy it is here, that the bushes and trees have grown at an angle with the wind, which is kind of insane, and something that I can never really get over. Like, look at this tree here, look at that. It's literally, the whole thing is like so cool. It's so cool. And that's kind of why I'm saying we might not be able to fly the drone. I think for me to come down here one day out of 365 in a year, look at that, that's the Hook Head over there, that's Hook Head over there, and the sheepses, hello sheepses. So you see another old house. But yeah, for me to be lucky enough to be able to fly it one day, the one day I pick to come down, I think it's unlikely, but look, we'll give it a go. I don't give up easy, so yeah, we'll try. Look at that though, absolutely beautiful. The one thing, you know, I feel not sorry for, I don't feel sorry for people like that, but you know, people who live like super inland and are born inland and stay inland, it's odd to me that that's a thing, that they don't ever get to see coastline. You know, there's people who go their entire lives without seeing a cliff, without seeing a coast in person. That's crazy. That, to me, in my head, that is crazy. And I just, look, I know some people might look at me and go, well, I feel sorry for you, you've never seen these mountains I have near me. But I don't know, it's absolutely mental to me. And those houses have some of the best views in the world. So just keep an eye out now as we ride. Like, there's another old building. You can spot all of these. But as we ride, try keep an eye out for older stuff, and I try keep an eye out for, you know, all the bushes and trees that have grown with the wind. Oh, we're going to pass Loftus Hall as well. Interesting thing about Loftus Hall, there's a story behind it. Now, as Luke told me, and as I have read before, apparently the house that this actually all happened at isn't Loftus Hall, it's a different one. And it's under new ownership, and I don't think they do tours anymore, unfortunately. I did get to do one of the tours back in the day, but I don't think they do them anymore. It's being renovated actually at the moment. I can see scaffolding up all around it. So, I don't know, is the camera going to pick this up? But the big building right there with all the scaffolding around it, that's Loftus Hall. And as the story goes, back in the day, super stormy night, you know, the people who lived there were playing poker. And anyway, it came a knock at the door, and they answered it, and there was a man in a long coat, and he asked could he come in or whatever out of the wind and rain, and they said yeah, sure, and he joined them playing poker. And the owner of the house's daughter, anyway, I can't remember why, was there a card dropped or whatever else, she looked under the table anyway to pick up something, and she saw hooves on this stranger's feet. There it is there. And obviously was startled or scared, and exclaimed loudly, to which she alerted the man that she knew about his hooves, and turned out to be the devil. So the devil shot up through the ceiling, and there is a hole in the ceiling in there that kind of shows it. So that is actually, yeah, it's all closed up now. That's sad, so we can't go in. But anyway, the devil shot up through the ceiling. The hole is still there. Maybe they're finally fixing it. After all these years, they're fixing the hole in the ceiling. And the poor daughter was said to have gone mad, and she was locked in a room basically for the rest of her days. And the thing that I find really sad about it is actually confirmed that the daughter was locked in a room until she died. And she died, where she died and how she died, she was actually basically frozen in a fetal position from her chair. Or not a fetal position, but a sitting position from her rocking chair, because she'd sat there for so many years when she died. Like all of her muscles and you know, connective tissue had atrophied to such a point that she was stuck in that position. And I find that cripplingly sad, because it probably wasn't the devil, but that poor girl probably had some form of mental illness, and they just locked her in a room, which was quite a common thing back throughout history, that, you know, if you had a problematic family member who had some form of mental health issue, they just kind of locked them away. And that's one thing I'm very glad does not happen anymore, that now people can actually get the care they need and deserve and live a normal life, managing whatever issue they may have. But yeah, that's my little story about Loftus Hall, and it does make me sad when I think about that. And that's all I could think of when we were doing the tour and they were telling that story. I'll be honest, I just felt sad, because to my mind it was pretty obvious to me that that's just someone with a mental illness. But anyway, I mean, maybe I could be wrong. Maybe it was the devil. Who knows? And maybe I'm being unfair on the parents, but I doubt it. So like I said, anyway, we're nearly at Hook Head Lighthouse now, and again, this is the kind of the community that harkens back to when it grew up. Ooh, hard on the brakes on the Magna. Brake testing. So we're nearly at Hook Head, and this, like I said, is the old kind of community that grew up around it. So it's cool to ride through here and see all the old stuff like there as well. You know, it's just, like I said, if you go to a focal point, a historical focal point, there's always going to be stuff around it. You know, there's a lot of stuff that this part of the country in Wexford I have not been to yet, and I haven't made videos on, and there is the lighthouse. And I plan on doing that because it's just really cool. There's lots of stuff here. So now, I want, as we approach it, I want to just, like, 800 years old, 800 plus years old. Absolutely mental when you think about it, and just looks out to what must have looked like the end of the world to people back in the day. And I mean, if you're a flat earther, it probably still does look like the end of the world. But we won't get into that. But look at the landscape and everything down here is just alien. It's so cool. And they do tours here 7 days a week, so you can go through the whole interior, talk about the history of it, see all the inside of it, feel how damp it still is. And then you can go up onto the 4th floor balcony, so not the one with the red railing, the one just below that. You can get up there and actually look out to sea from that, which is absolutely, it's just so cool. And I highly recommend it to anyone, wherever you're from. Go and have a look at that tour, because it's well worth doing. And you can still see the old lighthouse bit, the thing that does the work, still spinning away up there doing its job. Ooh, now let's not drop this bike. I think we actually will get to fly the drone, which is fantastic. But as you can see, this is the kind of landscape that you're looking at here, which is very pretty. And the cool thing is, it's actually, they warn about it on the website, and I remember they said it to us on the day. But when the weather is strong enough down here and you come down and do the tour and you're up on the 4th floor balcony, the sea spray can actually hit you up there. So that's how violent the weather gets down here, is like the sea spray from all around here can get up there and hit you. But yeah, there's the prettiness. So like I said, that lighthouse is 800 plus years old, which is Absolutely mad. You know, the best part is my 360 camera is catching all of that.
Is it? I don't like your helmet.
Standard helmets.
I've never seen that like.
Oh, also yes, I'm still recording. This is Alex with his helmet cover. And I don't think those, I was just saying to Luke, right, don't think those people realise I have that whole thing, the 360 camera still going. And that's going in the video. Alex is famous. But yeah, like I was saying anyway, the lighthouse is 800 plus years old, which is a bit mad. It's over 800 years old, isn't it, Luke? Yeah, yeah. Which is mental. But anyway, you can come down here, and if you do come down here, you can obviously walk around this whole area, but you can also park in there and do the tours. So the tours start from just in there. That's the kind of, I don't know what you call it, the office, I suppose. The tours start from in there, and then you can get to go the whole way up through the lighthouse and up onto the 4th floor balconies where it stops and finishes. And you can look and see out across here, which is today is a pretty clear day. This is a good day. I don't think it was as clear as this when we actually did the tour. Anyway, if you watched, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you think the lighthouse is as cool as I think it is. If you do come down to Hook Head after seeing this video, do let me know, or if you want to come down, let me know in the comments as well. And yeah, I would highly recommend doing the tour. It's class. You should do the tour someday. Alex has never been down here. What do you think of it actually? It's the first time seeing it.
It's amazing, to be honest.
See, there you go. That's the reaction I wanted. Good man. I didn't pay him to say that, I promise. Oh, Citron, class. The old Citron, they're cool. If you watched, thank you very much for watching. Special thank you, as always, to my patrons. Luke is one of them. Sound Luke. And yeah. Until next time, thank you again. Adios. Outro crew. Who's asking the question? See, now you should know by now. He asked the last one. On, Luke. Outro crew question.
Where's the oldest site in Ireland that you have visited on the bikes?
That's a good question. So where's the oldest site you visited on a bike in Ireland? Or will we say, if you're not from Ireland, globally? Where's the oldest spot you visited globally, wherever you're from? Let us know in the comments and say hello to Luke and Alex. Bye.
You'd be fair dead. I think, Luke, will I jump down?
No.